Macmillan Audio presents The Killer's Wife by Bill Floyd. Read for you by Isabel Keating. Chapter 1. Don't I know you? I glanced up from the frozen foods case, where I'd been considering the overabundance of packaged meals, narrowing down the choices according to Hayden's likes and dislikes, to find an older gentleman staring at me with his eyebrows raised. A healthy-looking type of guy, robust, full head of salt and pepper hair, probably in his mid-60s, wearing a casual pullover and blue jeans. Distant alarm bells. It was late, nearing midnight on a Friday. My favorite time to do the weekly shopping, because usually I could avoid these types of run-ins. I was no fan of idle chit-chat with my neighbors, or anyone else in particular, if I could help it. Tonight, when I'd entered the Harris Teeter, the big glass door sliding apart at my approach, whisper-soft as the airlock on a spaceship, it was as though I had the place completely to myself. That clean, lonely, safe feeling, exclusive to public places when they are emptied of the public. Of course I wasn't actually alone. The teenaged employees leaned drowsily in the checkout lanes. A couple of single men, second-shift types, non-professionals, wandered the beer aisle, trying to kill some time before returning home to their sofas. One of these guys was checking out my ass. I saw him staring after me in one of the parabolic mirrors that hang from the whitewashed girders in the warehouse-type ceiling. At my age, I could have taken it as flattery, but instead, it made me feel exposed, so I pushed my cart a little faster. Most often, the clientele roaming the store at this time of night were all perfectly self-encapsulated, as unwilling to meet my eyes as I was to meet theirs, which was exactly how I preferred it. But now, this older man was staring at my face, and his question wasn't posed rudely, so I shook my head and said politely, "I don't think so." "Leigh Wren?" he guessed. I felt a measure of relief, and searched my memory for where I may have met him. He was familiar, wasn't he? A stirring in those pools deep down below. A single blip that wouldn't coalesce. My social engagements had been few and far between for longer than I liked to consider. Mostly, it was just me and Hayden and the office, and that was just fine, thank you. So I surmised that I must have met this man at some work-related function. I felt a moment's guilt at not being able to place him, although, to be honest, there was nothing in particular to distinguish him. His kind was ubiquitous in Cary. I could even envision his SUV in the parking lot, a Jesus fish on one side of his license plate and a Bush Cheney campaign sticker on the other. "That's me," I answered. "I'm sorry, you are?" I extended my hand. He took hold of it, and his eyes changed. They flared and flashed. He took a deep, tremulous breath and commenced. "My name is Charles Pritchett. I've never had to use any other name than my own because I've never been ashamed of who I am. Your real name is Nina Mosley, and on November 18th, 1997, your husband, Randall Roberts Mosley, killed my daughter Carrie." The whole world telescoped. My hand went numb, as did all my other extremities, but I could feel the overt pressure Charles Pritchett was exerting, cracking my knuckles and pinching my fingers together. I tried to pull away, but he was holding on fast, his eyes like strobe lights now. He was shaking all over. I could see that he'd been rehearsing this very moment for a long, long time, and now that it was upon him, he was having some sort of near-debilitating reaction, a galvanization that fired his every nerve. In his transport, he seemed capable of levitation.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?